All right, welcome to lesson 141 on exponents in division. Hopefully you did all right in exponents in multiplication. We'll touch on that just a little bit. That would have been your last lesson, and I wasn't able to get a video up for that. Anyway, so let's talk about division, which is exactly the opposite of multiplication. So, yesterday you learned that if you have 3 squared times 3 squared, that is the same as 3 to the 4th. You add the exponents, and they showed you how it worked because 3 squared is 3 times 3 times 3 squared is 3 times 3, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be the same as 3 to the 4th, and you can see how that works. And then they showed you how you can do it with literal numbers as well. So literal number works exactly the same as a number, you just don't know what the number is. So if you have a to the 4th plus a to the 5th, not plus, you can't add those, multiplication, you have a to the 9th. Alright, now, division is exactly the opposite. So, let's say you have 3 to the 3rd divided by 3 squared. If you expand that, what they call expanding it, it would be 3 times 3 times 3, 3 to the 3rd, divided by 3 times 3. So, if you actually put this in, figure it out to number form or whatever, it would be 27 over 9. Alright? 27 over 9. Now, what you can do is, and 27 over 9 equals 3. Alright? Now, stay with me here. The exponents, when you multiply, you would have added these together and it would be 3 to the 5th. For division, you subtract them, and this would equal 3 to the 1, but you don't use a 1. Actually, it's not 3 to the 1. It's just 3, alright? Because it comes down to 1. And this is 27 and this is 9, so you can see that makes sense. Now, that's how it works for anything. So if you have, oh, it looks like they're going to put it in, well, they'll put it in different forms. But if you have t to the 8th divided by t to the 3rd, if you simplify this, it should come out to t to the 5th, because 8 minus 3 is 5, alright? Now, one other thing they do yet is show you how to find a square root. A square root is, let's say you would say, what is the square root of 5 squared? Well, 5 times 5 makes 5 squared. So 5 squared is technically 25, but the square root is 5. So you just divide this number by 2, because if you would have 5 times 5, this half times this half makes 5 squared. That sounds a little complicated. Here, let me do a bigger one. So let's say, and this only works for even, it can only work for even numbered exponents. So if say you have 5 to the 10th power, alright? So that means it'd be 5 10 times. All right, 5, 5, 5, 5. All right. Now, what? That's 5 to the 10th power. So the square root of that would actually be 1/2 of these, or 5 to the 5th, because 5 of the 5s times 5 of the 5s makes 5 to the 10th. Now, you don't necessarily need to know how that all works, but if it does make sense to you, that's great. If not, just remember that when you're trying to find the square root of a number with an exponent, you simply take b to the 8th. The square root of b to the 8th is b to the 4th. It's this number divided by 2. Exponent divided by 2. All right, so let's go into your lesson a little bit. Just look at a few. So number one, they're getting you to put together, they want you to take the expanded form and write it down to a problem and then figure it out. So you'll count out number one, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 b's divided by 4 b's, so b to the 4th, and the answer is b squared, because b to the 6th divided by b to the 4th is b squared. Just subtract that. All right. Then number 7, they want you to expand it and do the same thing. So they gave you y to the 5th divided by y squared. So you'll put 5y's, 2y equals, what's the answer? That shouldn't be hard either. Overall, this is actually pretty simple stuff. You might not necessarily know how it works, but if you can get the right, it's pretty simple to get the right answer. And then in part C, they give you a whole bunch of, oh, okay, so let me show you one like this. Number 11, number 15 is similar too. So number 11, we have 12m to the 6th divided by 4m cubed. So you'll need to divide the numbers and then do this. So 12 divided by 4 is 3, and m to the 6th divided by m to 3 should be, you should know already, but it's m to the m cubed, m to the 3rd. So the answer to this is 3m cubed, because 12 divided by 4 is 3, and m to the 6th divided by m to the 3rd comes out to m to the 3rd. So yeah, a very similar one in 15, so watch that. Square roots, pretty simple if you remember. You just divide it in 2. So number 18, you have v to the 12th. You're trying to find the square root of that, and that should be v to the 6th. All right. Now, write equations to solve these reading problems. Letter E. I don't know how you've been doing on these, but it can be a little difficult. So let's go with number 21. Dale is D years old and Melvin is 2 years more than 3 times as old as Dale. The sum of their ages is 58 years. So we have Dale is D plus whatever Melvin is equals, the sum is 58. So the part of the equation you need to figure out is Melvin. You know that Dale is D plus whatever Melvin is, and all that together adds up to 58. Now, Melvin is 2 years more than 3 times as old as Dale. So 2 more than 3 times old. So you have Dale times 3, 3D, and 2 more years than that, so he's plus 2. So this is Melvin right here. He's 3 times Dale plus 2. Alright. So, what can we add? Can we add any of these 3 terms together? Yeah, we can add these 2 together because they're the same. So D plus 3D would be 4D plus 2 equals 58. Now, Let's get rid of this 2. So if you remember, you have to do the same thing on each side of the equation, but to get rid of the 2, you would subtract 2 and subtract 2. So 4D equals 56. Then we want to get rid of this 4, so this is multiplication, so we divide them both by 4, and that will cancel this, and D will equal 16 years, I believe. No. Sorry, I didn't do the math right in my head. 14 years. 14. That comes out to 14. Well, you have a calculator, so you'll have it easier. Alright, hopefully that makes sense. If not, just feel free to send me a message.